Brandon, you can go ahead.
Hi there, morning, Skipper. In terms of preparation, we see Tajan and Chandra Paul scored a big century and two half centuries from Vishal Singh and Tevin Imlak. In terms of preparation, how prepared is the Guyana Harpy Eagles, heading into the third round clash?
Hi, Brandon. Morning. Yeah, it's good to see guys getting some runs there, and also the bowlers amongst the wickets as well. The bowlers in the squad. We've had a long time, a long break. We've done a lot of work physically. We'd love to have a couple more games, but as you know, the weather in Guyana didn't permit us to play 3 or 4 games before we got here. But the actual game that we got to play over 3 days was good. The first game I was washed out. The 2 days last day and our practice game was washed out. But I think we got a good little run out in the second match that we played. And as you said, Tej got a big 100, Bramble that's 80 odd, and Vishal and Imlak managed half centuries. So I think we're in good physical condition, and the guys got the scores there, and I think it's just about getting our minds right. We have 3 games more to play here. We know the conditions pretty well. We're fortunate to play the first 2 rounds here as at the Queen's Park over. So conditions are very similar to Guyana. So I think we're ready and ready to go.
All right, Ron Sword beating is back in the squad. We have a new pacer, Dimitri Cameron there. Your sentiments on those guys and the inclusion of those guys?
Yeah, look, I think they bowled pretty well in not just the games that we played, but the earlier trial matches in December and January. On very docile trucks, they bowled pretty well, and it's good to see. Beaton obviously had a few issues before, and he's worked on them and he's come back stronger. So it's good to have him in the team. Young Cameron, young guy, fit guy. He's bowled, as I say, he bowled pretty well in those 3 trial games that we had early in the year, and he continued to do so in the second and the 4th and 5th one that we had. So, he would have deserved that selection.
Final one for me, if I may, Nasira. Skipper, you've been under the microscope in terms of not getting runs. How important is this, the last 3 rounds for you personally?
Well, see, not getting the kind of scores that I would like and the team would like. The young is always there to score runs, but so the execution has been a bit off. I think every game that you play for your country is important. Not just, you said, the next 3 rounds, but I think every game that I play or an individual play is very important to perform. That's what I must say.
All right, go well, man.
Thanks.
Thanks very much, Brandon. Lennox, you're up next.
All right, thanks, Nas. Blessings, Skip, John.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. You were just coming off the T10 tournament here locally in Jamaica, where you were the MVP. You scored the most runs. How hard do you think it's going to be to transition now from that T10 to this longer version?
Well, in this day and age, there's a lot of cricket being played, so the transition period between formats is oftentimes very slim. We had the opportunity of playing a 3-day game before we left Jamaica. Also, I'd have had quite a few net sessions with Coach Kohli before and after those T10 games, where they were basically about for the longer form. So I think I'm in a decent place right now.
Right. No question that Jamaica will be relying on your bat. And obviously, the team not doing so great this season. But what do you think personally that you can bring to lift this team and get some wins under their belt in the last couple of rounds?
Well, for me, it's good starts as an opener. Setting the foundation will be very important.
Right. And you already have 100 in this tournament. I'm sure you'll be looking to get many more, seeing that the West Indies senior team will also be participating in some cricket as well.
Well, for sure. I mean, every batsman, whenever they go to bat, they're looking to score 100. So it's no different for me. Obviously, it doesn't happen all the time, but that's the aim.
All right. Well, all the best in this one, man.
Thanks.
Akeem, you can go ahead, followed by Gavin and Sanjay.
Hi, John. For clarity, who is your 13-man squad? Or then could you just tell me then who are the two players actually as the traveling reserves?
John, did you say John? John Campbell? Or
Not
John?
Johnson, Leon Johnson.
Oh.
Adams and Beaton, from my knowledge, the two players that travel in reserves are Anthony Adams and Answer Beaton.
So they won't be eligible for selection for the first match.
Doubt it if they're traveling reserves.
Okay, all right, thanks.
No problem.
Now that you guys have arrived in Trinidad, I suspect today going to be some net sessions. Look, the final talk has it been about that, we're still in it, and that, should we get a good start against Pride, we could be on our way to possibly regaining a title we held, for 5 seasons.
Yeah, look, I mean, there's still a lot of cricket to be played. Looking at the points table and the clashes, as you might say, the top teams all have to play each other. So, it could still be a fight for the championship. I think we just need to take care of what we could, and that's playing good cricket, planning well and executing well. Play, session by session. And I think once you play good cricket, results take care of themselves.
Earlier, Craig said he's anticipating a heavy diet of spin from you guys, but you're stocked up with some fast bowlers. Could that be the extra surprise that you hit Pride with come Wednesday?
I don't really want to give out team strategies on air, but we'll have a look at the conditions, and we'll play the best possible 11 for conditions that present themselves to us at the Queen's Park Oval.
All right, thanks a lot. Go to best, John.
Thank you.
Before we move on to Gavin, Romario Samaru sent a question for Leon. He said, with the absence of Shimron Hetmyer, the possibility exists for a young batter to break into the playing 11. Imlak and Akshaya are there. What would you like to see from them, and what have you seen from them in the practice matches?
Yeah, obviously there's an opening for a batter now in the 11 that Etty is not available. The two guys are relatively inexperienced at this level, obviously, but Imlak was showing a bit of form in the last game that we played, not so much Akshaya, but I just want them to go out, and whichever one plays or whoever plays, if both of them play, we don't know, but just to relax and go out and relax and play each ball as merit and stuff like that. It obviously won't be an easy game for them coming in against the likes of Barbados, but I just like to see them, apply themselves and do the things that they always do to score runs.
Gavin, you're up next.
Good morning. Question for John Campbell. John, coming up against the Windwards, of course, Jamaica, they've not managed to win this season. First of all, how concerned are you with the form of your team heading into this match? And what are some of the areas that you've been addressing, during the off time as a team, as you look to rebound?
Well, those previous two rounds was, quite a while away. So we're all starting from zero. The point standing might not show that, but we all went on a break. So it's just for us to start well.
Okay, so starting well, the Windwards, of course, they have some very good upcoming spinners, and they also have a decent bowling attack. How much pressure is there going to be on you and guys like Nkrumah Bonner and even Brandon King, Jermaine Blackwood to sort of deliver and help carry the team?
Well, we are the most experienced players in the team. that's it. That is where our experience lies in our batting. So we just have to make sure that whenever we bat, we make it count. We have to get big total on the board.
So is it fair to say at this point in time that you're not too concerned, or you're not really panicking yet? You haven't hit the panic button as it relates to the start that you've had this season?
Not at all. I mean, we've shown signs. It's just that we haven't been consistent enough, and we're hoping for a turnaround starting the third round.
Okay, thank you, John.
Sanjay, you're up next.
Okay, good morning all. Good morning, John.
Morning.
Quick question about your opening partner. Leroy Lugg has opened the batting with you a couple of times. What are your thoughts on his development and what you would like to see him do to make him successful at this level? And the second part of the question is Alain Thomas coming in. The same. What are your thoughts on what he can do to make to be better with the bat at this level?
Like I said, we played a practice match before we left. Both of them showed decent form. It's just for them to now transition and take that over into the first class, into the remainder of the first class season. I mean, for any batsman, it's shot selection, so you just want both of them to be as selective as possible. And I mean, the fact that they're in the squad means that they have what it takes. So it's just for them to be selective, and they'll be good.
Okay, thank you.
Leon, there's another question from Romario for you. He said, is it good signs to see Tage scoring a big 100 in the practice?
Yes, it was great signs. He's had a rough time of it, in the first two games. He had a rough time of it, and a lot of the calls for him to be excluded. But his selection panel showed good faith in Tage. He's been one of the premier batters in our side for a while. He went through his struggles, as I said, but it's good to see him, come out and be very positive. He scored 160 in 3 sessions, I would say, which is not normal. He was very positive, and his shot selection was good and his aggression was good. So, hopefully he can come and show that same kind of form, use the same temperament that he had in the game at Providence, and it'll be good for us in the team.